Hi, I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and I proudly represent California's beautiful East Bay in Congress, which includes Oakland and Berkeley, California. This week, it is my privilege to deliver the Congressional Black Caucus's message to America. Since the Congressional Black Caucus was founded, it has been a leading voice for economic justice and opportunity. Over the last 40-plus years, the CBC has achieved much, but more work remains. Right now, 45 million of our fellow Americans are living in poverty. And American poverty is far from colorblind. Our drum major for peace and justice, Dr. King, referred to this in his 1968 To America speech, saying that one America is overflowing with the milk of prosperity and the honey of opportunity, while the other America transforms the ebulliency of hope into the fatigue of despair. His words were backed by the Kerner Commission report that stated, "We are moving towards two societies, one black, one white, separate and unequal." Today, there are still two Americas. They are separate and unequal. The poverty rate for African Americans is nearly triple the rate of white Americans. More than 1 in 4 African Americans and 1 in 3 African American children lives in poverty. That's simply unacceptable. That's not the American dream. As a member of the House Budget and Appropriations Committees, I am working to ensure that the opportunity to live the American dream is open to all, not just a select few. Under the leadership of Congressman Bobby Scott, we, the CBC, crafted the CBC's alternative budget, a budget that invests in American families and builds pathways out of poverty. It gives families a raise, and it invests in education and workforce training so American workers can compete. Despite the moral and economic imperatives of passing our budget, my Republican colleagues pushed through their budget, a budget that slashes proven anti-poverty programs like food assistance and Pell Grants to pay for tax giveaways to the super rich and well-connected. That's just wrong. Our budget should work for all Americans, not just those rich enough to afford a private jet. Instead of passing bad budgets, Congress should be passing legislation that creates jobs, lifts wages, and ends poverty. As co-chair of the CBC's Poverty and Economy Task Force and chair of the Democratic Whip's Task Force on Poverty, Income Inequality, and Opportunity, I'm working with more than 100 of my Democratic colleagues to do just that. A key provision of the CBC budget that we are working on is to pass independently is the Half in 10 Act, that's H.R. 258. It will create a national strategy to cut poverty in half over the next decade. That's more than 22 million Americans lifted out of poverty in just 10 years. Passing this legislation and other CBC priority legislation that will dramatically decrease in poverty in America is our priority. However, we need your help. We need the street heat. Please reach out to your members of Congress and tell them why this legislation matters to you and urge their support. As Dr. King also reminded us in his To America speech, social progress never rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts and the persistent work of dedicated individuals. We must be those dedicated individuals because too much is at stake. Together, we can and will continue the CBC's important work to ensure equality and economic opportunity for all. Thank you.